Today we're going to do our fun Halloween themed arrangement, our spooky cemetery. We're going to be using some fall preserved leaves, a little bit of willow. We'll also have our sucker ghost and our little paper tombstone. We'll use 2 orange crushed roses, a stem of statice, as well as a stem of blue thistle. For our greenery, we're going to be using variegated pittosporum. Start by beveling the edges of our floral foam. We're using just a little under a half of a brick, and we're going to bevel each of the sides. What I notice here is you want to pay close attention. If there is light in your floral foam, that means that it hasn't soaked enough. So we want to make sure that you see that and that you get that taken care of and you soak the foam all the way. Then you're going to secure your foam with waterproof tape across both sides of the container, and then secure that on the base there with more waterproof tape. So we're going to make the shape of this arrangement a vertical arrangement. So you're going to start with the willow and you're going to cut it 3 times the height of the container. And then you're going to stick it into the back of the floral foam at the 10 and 11 o'clock position. Now, because the stem is white on this tombstone, we're going to cover it with floral foam so that it hides the mechanics. So we'll wrap the tape around the stem, and then we're going to place it right into the center of our floral foam. This will be the focal point of our arrangement. We're also going to wrap the stem of the ghost so that we hide the mechanics there. We also extended the stem a little bit because we wanted to elongate it. The sucker stick is pretty short, so we just added a pick to it to make it a little bit longer so it sticks above the tombstone. We're going to start with our greenery, the variegated pittosporum. We're going to use little clumps of leaflets. We're going to cut them and place the first one at about 2 o'clock, the second one at 9 o'clock, and the third one at 5 o'clock. Remember, when you're cutting stems, you want to cut at a 45-degree angle. And also, if there's a center stem that's sticking up out in the middle, you want to cut that off so it doesn't show. We'll add another stem of pittosporum right in the back behind the ghost at about 12 o'clock. I'm going to add another bunch of pittosporum at the 9 o'clock position to cover the bottom of the willow branches and just to add a little bit more texture in that area. Next, we're going to use our autumn leaves, and in order for us to secure them into the foam, we're going to be using 1/3 of a piece of wire for each insertion. We're going to cut the wire in thirds, and we're going to use a hairpin to attach them into the foam. We're going to insert our first leaves at the 8 o'clock position, and make sure that you unfold the leaves so that you can see it clearly and it's not scrunched up. Next, we're going to insert another one with the hairpin wire at about the 4 o'clock position in front of and to the right of the tombstone. We can also attach them with glue dots to the willow up at the top on the branches. I like to just add a little bit of interest, and it'll tie those colors all the way from the top down to the base of the arrangement. Now Now we're going to start adding flowers. We're going to start with our focal flowers, which are going to be these orange crush roses. These are beautiful roses, and they're going to go right in the center of the arrangement. You want to make sure that you remove the guard petals if there are some on your roses, and that you cut the stem at about 3 inches at a 45-degree angle. The first rose insertion is going to be placed in the center, just off to the left, slightly in front of the tombstone. Our second rose is going to be cut a little bit longer, and it is going to go straight out the middle at 6 o'clock at the lip of the container. Now we're going to use this beautiful purple statice, and if you notice, statice has a flower head that has an arrow shaped, and we want to make sure that the point of those arrows are going to all be facing the same direction, and they're going to face towards the container. So we're going to start with a wide edge, and we're going to make a pathway all the way from the tombstone down to the lip of the container. Now we're going to use small groupings of the blue thistle. The blue thistle is going to pull out the colors from the statice, as well as bring some interest and give the arrangement a little bit more of a spooky feel. We're going to use small groupings of the thistle. Some are going to be a little bit higher, one up towards where the branches are, one down at the base, and then on the other side where the ghosts are, we'll put a grouping of 2 or 3. And now what we're going to do is we're going to finish up by covering all of our foam. Make sure that our mechanics are covered. We're going to use just a little bit more pittosporum, as well as a few more of our autumn leaves. Remember to use wire and hairpin them to attach them to our floral foam. I also have a few stems left of this statice, so I'm just going to bring a little bit to the left side to balance out what I have on the right. Just check one more time to make sure that all of your foam is covered, and make sure that you cannot see any of your mechanics. I'm going to add just one more little leaf up here to the branches to bring the color down a little bit and fill in that gap.